So tell me what happened.
I was working, went out on overtime. We were doing some emergency fire training. And these docks, there was a row of oil, like oil waste bins underneath. And when they catch fire, it's basically like a chip pan fire. And the ship was tied up alongside a jetty called West Bing. And a group of the Filipinos had come off because they were going to come in Middlesbrough and have a look around and stuff. And they'd been smoking along next to these tankers. They weren't know what it was. But next to this tanker was a small row of cabins. Workers, dockers sat in there having cups of tea and warm. And one of these Filipinos had flicked his fag off and bounced off the side of the tank and down into the oil slick tray below, which had started smoking, and they'd walked off. And when they walked off, it had gone straight underneath, and it lit up 3 of them. But because it spread that fast, it was spitting onto the other cabins as well that these dockers were in. But they didn't know, because these are like porter cabin things, no windows on them. So we moved a bit closer around the side where you can see these cabins, and you can see 3 out of the 5 of these cabins are up. So because there's a fence, there's like a mesh fence between these tanks and the cabins, it was supposed to be a security measure. It means we have to go around and back in. So in the time it took us to roll up the hoses, load them back onto the truck, get all our gear back together, replace our gas tanks, and go around. Number 4 had caught fire as well. Now, when the dockers realised that some of these had caught fire, most of them were out, they were away, but they were panicking, and they were running into each other, knocking each other over. Rounds, it was very entertaining to see number 1 cabin door fly off. Now we all stand back thinking, whoa, what was that? And out of number 1 comes this huge guy, massive boots, and he'd just taken the door completely off the hinges because this guy was panicking, couldn't get it open, so he'd just given it out my way. While one team put the hose on 1, we entered 2, if you like, to search for casualties. There was 1 guy in there, and we got him out. And then obviously we moved along, but because this fire's spreading, and like I said, there's a row of cabins, the fire is spreading just as fast as we can move and search and put out these cabins. So by the end of it, we had a group of dockers stood around not knowing what to do. We had 12 casualties out laid with burns or smoke inhalation, and we were giving them oxygen, sat waiting for unseen harbour paramedics to come. The harbour police in an uproar, meddling around, saying, you stand over there, you stand over there. And we ended up putting them all out. It took us 45 minutes in total. And we were working in 4 teams of 3 hose crews and 3 search crews going in. And by the time we'd finished, somebody had gone back to number 2 cabin, which was the one me, a guy called Kyle and a guy called Jack had checked first. And we'd found this 1 guy and we got him out. We hadn't looked in depth enough behind these chairs. We'd seen the 1 guy on the floor, gone for the guy, and got him out as fast as we could. The recovery team went in and pulled out 2 lads who, one, it was a mess. It was, now could have been done for him. He was already gone. And the other one, he was in a bad state as well. Horrific burns, face, neck, arms. He tried to shield himself as much as he could from the fire by hiding behind the other guy, which is why he wasn't severely burned. we found out later that because of his burns and them being that bad in the smoke inhalation, he died on his way to the hospital. It was our job to get them out, and why didn't we save them?
So do you feel like you were to blame?
I still believe I was partly to blame, even right now. More than the other lads were, because I was in charge. I was first man in the search team. I was head of the hose, if you like. They were both following my orders.